All right, folks, please join me in the pledge of allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okay, everyone, welcome to the July 22nd meeting of the Town of Canandaigua Planning Board. I think everybody knows everybody. Let me go around the table. Kim Burkert is our facilities coordinator, remote facilities coordinator to be exact. Tim Schneider, a board member. Mark Tolbert, board member. Amanda Van Lanken, board member. Bob LaCourse, board member. I'm Chuck Euler, board chairman. Kristen Smith, our zoning officer. Eric Cooper, representing MRB, and our attorney is Chris Nadler. So we're going to follow the agenda as published. Meeting's not too bad tonight, thank goodness. And I think most people have been before. They know the protocol as far as coming to the podium, giving us your name and address, address the board with your comment, concern, or presentation, and then we go from there. So moving on, I will now take privilege of the floor from anyone here or out there who wants to address the planning board regarding an issue that is not on the agenda. I think I recognize everybody here for agenda items, so let's move on to the agenda. First item is CPN 2025-013. It's the Johnson plan and 5300 Black Point Drive.
How we doing?
Evening again.
Good evening again.
Hey, you got some good news, huh?
I'd say so.
All right. Well, tell us what's happening.
We got all the finalized plans for the septic. And we just did the building permit as well.
Today.
Yeah, we paid for the building permit as well. I think it was $100. And should be really finalized to go on everything besides for just waiting on a quote from a couple companies, but we're most likely going to be going through Finger Lakes Environmental.
Oh, to install the septic?
Yeah.
Okay.
They've been familiar with our property before, so we figured it'd be easiest to go with them.
Okay.
But yeah, those are all the finalized plans.
I guess the only question there, Cody, is it says an existing 3-bedroom. It's obviously more than 3. I think
It was up to 7. It should have been.
Okay, well, that's one thing we gotta nail down tonight is what number are we talking about? I think Kim or Kristen, you'd come up with 6, I believe.
6 is what the application is.
Oh, yeah, and I think we agreed on, Bill said 14, max 14 people.
As far as the system could handle, right? The septic system.
I think it could handle more, but I think it would.
He went one under so that it would be a for sure thing that we could get it. He didn't want to go close to the max.
Okay, so we know that the system is, yeah, that was one question, what the system could handle. But I think Kristen, in your analysis, you determined that it'd be 6 bedrooms, I believe.
The Watershed Commission letter says that 7 bedrooms.
7.
Yep.
Well,
Yeah, so
what's
they
the
reviewed
operation
plans.
statement say, statement of operation?
6. There's 6 bedrooms, but you're currently using 5.
We only have it set
Yeah.
up for 5.
Yeah, 1 bedroom is being used as a gym.
Yep. And I think Zillow, and if you look on the real estate sections, it says it's a 4-bedroom. But I know you've adapted it to have additional living space, bedroom space.
Yeah,
It was just one of them just had a closet and everything, but it was an office.
Mhm.
So that's where it got.
Okay, so that's now a bedroom or considered a bedroom.
yeah. Used to be our dad's office.
So board, I guess that's the first item is how many bedrooms or how many bedrooms defined and therefore how many occupants be allowed Mr.
So
Question.
watershed has approved the septic design for 7 bedrooms, is that what I heard?
In the past, I think we were given information that because of the square footage and size of the space that the number of occupants was determined based on that measurement, right?
That's correct.
Which was, and how did that align?
Fine. So, Kim, do you have the ZLD?
And while we're looking that up, the code enforcement department, Sam Moore, did an initial inspection back in February, and he did a follow-up inspection today.
Yep.
And he found it to be in conformance with all building fire and safety regulations, so you can check that off. I guess the other thing is parking. We want to make sure that you were aware that the code requires that once we determine the number of bedrooms, we can determine the number of parking spaces, but they have to be on an impervious surface. You cannot be parking on the grass. So I know you have a driveway that's shown on the site plan. So I guess theoretically or actually, you'll have to just queue up the cars in the driveway. I know there's been events out there that you've had people parking in the grass, and that might not have been related to the short-term rental, but now under the short-term rental regulations, that parking would have to be on the driveway. So as long as you're aware of that.
Yep.
In,
16.
give me,
16.
16 people, occupants, okay? So if the resolution would be for 16 people, which requires how many parking spaces? Eight
Well, short-term rental law says they have to have one apartment space per
per
bedroom,
bedroom.
but they could
Oh,
fit
we gotta
8
use
cars in the
that.
parking lot,
Mhm.
Especially if
in
you
the parking area.
pull like up to
Yeah,
it.
one.
Yeah, because it was 1,800 square feet was required
Oh.
for 6 cars, and I think they have 2,300, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, that's what you would say.
Yeah, so. There's.
But you also have to account for daytime,
If the occupants.
so you have to parking for them too. So we're at 16 occupants. 6 bedrooms.
Oh, for that.
And
Yeah.
parking for 8 cars off street. Obviously, you don't want to be parking on Black Point Drive because that could upset some neighbors. So everything has to be off street. And
Chuck, just for clarification, 6 or 8 cars? We just went, we said 2 different things there. We said 6 and 8 cars.
yeah, it was 6 bedrooms, I'm sorry.
There was 6 bedrooms. Okay, so 6 bedrooms.
6 cars.
I have a question for you. So that line right where Black Point is,
Mhm.
are they allowed to park right there in front on our line? Like,
Has to be on your property and impervious.
Off the corner of the deck.
yeah, like right here, or anything above that. they're
Yeah,
okay.
yeah, that's essentially to the left of that line.
Yeah,
That line's your easement line for
Yeah,
Black Point.
yeah.
Okay, so
makes sense.
yeah, anything to the right of that is in the common space.
You'll be off a cliff anyways,
the
you don't wanna park there.
Please, please don't.
Yeah,
Okay, just going through a couple bit of housekeeping, so we took
Chuck,
care of.
do we need- Just a quick question. Do we need to modify the statement of operations to match that? Right now it says 15 to 16 guests, 6 vehicles matches. So do we need to, should we have the statement changed to up to 16 guests?
Yes, that could be a condition of the, so. It says up to 16, right?
Yeah.
You're right, yeah.
Yeah, so instead of 15 to 16, just modify the statement of operations to.
Yeah, we put the either or because we didn't know what we'd end on for a final, but if we can just change to 16, then we'd happily do that.
And then you need.
So that'll be your max. I mean,
Yeah,
that's where
yeah,
we're standing
up to
here today.
16, yeah.
Yep.
Then you would need to add the sixth bedroom that doesn't show there
Yeah, down further.
in the last paragraph or bullet says. On the very bottom, it goes to bedroom 5, but does not refer to a bedroom 6.
6 is the exercise room.
Alexa, where's your sixth bedroom? Is it that exercise room?
Yeah, exactly.
Exercise room is the sick bed.
Okay, well, you have to modify the statement of operation. Just change that instead of exercise room, call it bedroom.
Okay,
Okay.
Even though there's no bed in it, still considered bedroom.
Well, New York State does one.
I'm just wondering.
It would be considered a bedroom.
Okay, that makes
Yeah.
sense. Just wondering.
And that works to your potential advantage anyways. So to change that word.
And maybe put those all in order, because that kind of threw me to 1 bedroom, bathroom, number 1, and then you went 2 to 3, 2 to 4, you know what I mean?
Okay,
See what I mean?
yeah, I got you.
But really, most importantly, is number of bedrooms and how many they can support,
Okay.
bathroom.
We'll make it more concise.
So you're gonna update the statement of operations,
Yeah.
building plans are part of the submission. I guess, again, to relieve any concerns the neighbors may have, would you mark the corner boundaries of the lot, possibly somehow with stakes or
We
something?
already have them
Oh,
marked.
have you?
Yeah.
yeah.
Okay, so,
Pete
so,
Did that.
so
yeah.
or visitors don't drift off into the woods and,
Yeah, that's also like that's also in our stuff that they can't, like,
We'll make sure that
okay, just make sure the property
people will
corners.
be subject to fines.
So you would just mention that, I'm sorry, I forgot your name.
Alexa.
Alexa.
That's what I was gonna ask you. Do you have signage in your house now that talks about where you can go, where you can't go?
Yeah, we have an entire book.
Okay,
Well,
but
maybe-
that's what the code was talking to, and I couldn't see that it was done anywhere, signage. That
Yeah, and-
protects and all that stuff.
I have
That's
the-
what Sam looked for.
Yeah.
They have
Yeah,
that,
we
I
did
didn't see that in
on
your
your
report.
Yeah, I assumed anything inside the house, Sam took.
Yeah.
Yeah, he talked a lot about safety stuff, I didn't see any of that.
Yeah, we went over.
We can put up a sign at the end saying no entry beyond this point too, if we had to. There's trees we could post something on, so. Make it crystal clear.
Okay, refuge removal, you have that all set up for,
Mhm.
and your tenants know how to participate and
Yep.
where to put it and.
Yep.
We don't.
Yeah, we have ample
We don't
space for
have a
that.
trash issue, okay. That's what we talked about. Insurance, you've got the insurance covered, I think Sam.
Yeah.
Checked that. Is your house number visible?
Yeah,
Okay.
right from the driveway now,
Okay.
put numbers up.
That's the other thing, people tend to, first time they come to the house, they might just go right by your
Yeah,
house and next
yeah.
thing you know, they're
Yeah.
down by the lake, so. They're knocking on neighbors' doors and that upsets people.
Oh yeah, we get their UPS packages all the time, so. Now we don't, because the numbers are up though.
Okay,
They have to
There you
travel
go.
down.
all right, Ag Committee, no loss of ag land, so that's not an issue, we did not have to go to the county planning board, so that was, taken care of. Talked about no parking on the grass, talked about number of bedrooms, number of parking spaces. The lot is a non-conforming lot, and I checked this out with Kristen. It's a 1 acre lot in a 3 acre zoning district. So it's not an issue when it comes to short-term rentals as far as being able to use a short-term or use a non-conforming property for a use, correct, Chris? I mean, that's,
Correct, because
Okay.
it's still a residential.
Yep.
It's not changing use.
yep, I just know that there was an issue brought up about a commercial operation. And that takes care of my questions. Anybody else have anything?
Just to I think Cody said,
I'm
last time,
Zach.
I'm sorry.
That's Cody.
hard to
No,
tell,
no.
sorry. Sorry. And I talk about this on all short terms that meet us is, and somebody mentioned last time you had property on the lake, because your listing had said that you're 5 minutes from, a 5 minute walk to the lake. Do you own property that they could?
It's a
go to the
separate
lake?
parcel.
Not included.
not
It's
included.
just our family parcel, we don't,
So
it's
just
not
that.
included for any guests, no.
Okay,
Yeah, no.
No, we reference to the lake like Ononda Park,
down
we
there.
send them the other way,
got you.
Yeah.
Drive.
yeah,
Yeah,
Yeah.
or, yeah.
yeah, no, that's family property, we don't, that'd be no allowance down there.
Thank you, thanks for that.
Yep.
Okay, anybody from the audience here or there? Address the board regarding this application. If not, we close the hearing on the special use permit.
Ask a couple questions based on previous applications, short-term rentals, there's a couple things in the conditions of approval. That I just want to address with you all to see if it should remain in any conditions of approval.
Certainly.
So, talking about parking, then previous applications requested that the layout of the proposed parking areas and spaces be provided prior to the issuance of short-term rental. Is that a condition that you would consider as part of this?
We have conditioned that on other ones.
Right.
I know that. Just to show it.
Dan, you don't have a prepared resolution for this, is that correct?
I didn't include on the resolution package. No.
So this has, so. We're not contemplating. Approval without a resolution from, right?
Well, we were gonna take an SOP resolution and apply it possibly, I mean, it's. I certainly, one of the conditions will be that your system has to be in the ground and up and functional, your septic system.
Yeah.
Okay, so yeah, obviously you can't run it without an approved septic system, so.
Yeah, I don't think delaying another 2 weeks is gonna kill you because you can't, I mean.
We've already made it this far.
Yeah, I'd say let's.
Okay,
Have Eric go through the analysis. Have it in front of you and.
well,
writing.
maybe by that time.
Since it's obviously not.
By
in
that
operation.
time, folks, you could have the revised statement of operations that we talked about. Remember about, you know,
Yeah.
updating as far as number of bedrooms and showing where they are. And also, you can probably work with this plan, though, you probably have to check with Mr. Grove.
Yeah, I don't know why you put 3 bedrooms.
No, I was thinking as far as showing where your parking's located.
Okay.
So here's the other thing that I think is a good thing, you're not in a time crunch. Your special use permit, general provisions require a sketch plan in compliance with town code section 220-66. And now that we're here, maybe that's what this is and maybe it's not, but it, you know, it has to have certain elements in it. Zoning classification, lot lines, land features. And I don't know that we have one of those. I don't think it's gonna, I mean, it doesn't have to be professionally prepared even, but it needs to include certain things. I just wanna make sure that we're getting that,
What was that called?
a sketch plan.
Oh, I think I uploaded that to Cloud Permit. a while
Maybe did,
ago.
I just didn't see it as we're looking now, so
Yeah, no, I think I did, but we can double check.
make sure that it has everything that's required.
Yeah, for
Is that the,
Sketch plan right there.
yeah.
Oh, it's 3.
yeah, we were busy.
So that, I mean, so what, it requires the zoning classification and required setbacks, lot lines, land features. Land uses, utilities, development. And then location and nature of all existing easements, deed restrictions and other encumbrances. And drawn to scale. That's just the requirement in the code. Not anything that, you know, is particular to you guys, it's just what's required. And I didn't see it as I'm looking through cloud permit now. But I think the board needs that before you can approve it.
Okay,
It's something you guys could do,
yeah,
just. Kristen can point you to the section and you guys could do that,
okay.
I would assume.
Eric, what else do you have that they should be working on?
Previous one asked for refuse and service areas, containers and schedules to be added to the sketch plan and the statement of operations. When you talked about a second ago, documentation of satisfactory completion of improvements to the onsite wastewater treatment system. Prior issuance of short-term rental permit. Talk about quiet hours from 10 to 8. And then the final 2 conditions were the standard. They shall operate in accordance with the statement of operations and they shall operate in accordance with short-term rental permit. So, at least of those ones, I don't know if you I wanted to discuss or include the recreation service area stuff or quiet hours, make sure whether I should include those as a condition.
So my thinking is the other thing that that statement of operations needs to be is in compliance with chapter 201 of the town code. Think.
Yep.
It says what the operating statement needs to say. I don't think this one says everything in it, but maybe just double check that.
I got another question. Would we be allowed to schedule a date to get this in now, or do we need? for-
You would be doing it at your own risk if you wanna go ahead and hire a contractor to,
Well,
I mean, you wouldn't have your, it'd be another 2 weeks at the earliest you would have, you'd be able to have your permit.
yeah, yeah,
But if you wanna go and get a contractor lined up to do the septic system, because that will be a condition of your approval, that you.
oh, yeah, yeah,
You
so,
could not, we won't issue the permit until the septic system's installed.
yeah.
Okay? So, yeah, if you wanna start queuing up your contractor. Do it.
Okay, sounds
Okay.
good.
Okay. So I guess we're another 2 weeks.
Hmm.
But you made a large step.
Yeah.
You guys have come a long way. And we appreciate your working with us on this thing. I know it's the first time for you and it is a unique lot too. And so with that, I guess I need a continuation to continuate to the August 12th meeting. So moved. Well,
Second.
for discussion of, all in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Okay, guys,
So is that-
thanks for working with us.
It's another two weeks.
August 12th, right?
Yep.
Yep.
First of all.
And then any
We'll get
materials,
everything in by next week for you.
Yeah, anything that's gotta be submitted, you might as well get it in rather than have it as a condition.
Okay,
All right?
thank you.
Okay, number 2024, CPN 2024-108. Mr. Spudler. Represented by Terrence, our barrister. This is a site plan for a retroactive approval from the planning board for a land clearing project in the RLD on Poplar Beach. And Thomason, you're up.
Thank you. So this permit has been in front of the board before, just like to update everyone in case you're not aware, but I imagine that you are. The project was reviewed by the Environmental Conservation Board. They reviewed the plantings that have been proposed and had some specific comments. They didn't care too much for the idea of sort of a meadow kind of setting because of various issues with maintenance. And so they wanted more hard plantings, trees. They specifically recommended that the applicant consider following varieties: tulip poplars, spice bushes, redbuds, flowering dogwoods, and button bush, and wanted some changes to the proposed landscape plan. Now, that plan has not been amended yet, so we're back in front of this board. I think it would be fair, given the recommendations from the ECB, to allow the applicant to submit a revised landscaping plan. But we're happy to discuss the current one tonight for the wish, just with that understanding that we haven't yet been able to incorporate the ECB comments.
Okay, and a little bit about the background on this, how it became a retroactive. It was work that was done. Being
Yeah.
unfamiliar with what was required, and then the code department had a stop work order or something.
The
related
brief
to it.
history
I
is
don't wanna
that,
give-
this is, if you go down there to Poplar Beach, the homes obviously are all on the west side, the lake side, and then this is on the east side. There's a large area between East Lake Road and Poplar Beach that's wooded and sort of a water reservoir type of thing. Water drains into that area. It's owned by and not everybody's part of this community group. It's owned by Friends of Poplar Beach. of which the applicants have received authority, specifically Mr. Spalletta, to speak on behalf of those owners. So what happened is that in the southwest corner, there were some trees that were dead. There's lots of dead trees, primarily ash trees in that area. One had fallen on one of the structures there. They're primarily garages, detached garages. And there's a group of owners that are kind of on that bend that have grandkids and things that come and visit and play in that area. So it's primarily as a safety issue, both for their structures and for the visitors to their homes. They took down some of the dead trees, cleared that out. They didn't take down any of the mature trees, but primarily the dead trees. But they weren't aware that it was going to require a permit. That part is undisputed. So they did that without a permit. Once the code enforcement office informed them that a permit was required, they were in this situation of needing a retroactive permit. So they submitted a plan. I don't have the date, but it was last year, Mike. September-ish time. And then there was a question about, well, who has authority to speak for the Friends of Poplar Beach? Because there's 15 owners. So that took some time to get it approved, that there would be a voice, which is Mr. Spalletta, to speak on behalf of Friends of Poplar Beach. He had submitted the application originally, but then this authority issue needed to be addressed. We've submitted signed statements to the town, now clearing that up. So now we have an applicant that has authority to speak and we can address the application.
And the legal questions of how do you get that authority, which is why owners, obtain clearance and had him sort that all out.
So it's primarily clearing and grubbing, there's no grading done.
No,
Sounds really clear. And yeah, you're right, the ECB did have some comments. The application and you said, Mr. Robinson, your applicant's willing to submit a revised landscape plan that would more or less go along with what they're requesting.
yeah, the current plan has trees already in the planting, proposed planting, you can see there. But the open areas have been described as the meadow areas, and I think that's the concern of the ECB, how much of that is left open, how much of that is planted to trees.
Okay.
So we'll certainly go back and address that. The other, and it's not been severely recent, but in May, the DEC did issue a determination that this area is a class 2. So there will have to be a parallel permit application to DEC regardless of any approval that might come out of this board. Will have to be reviewed by DEC as well.
So yeah, that was my other question, any outside agency approvals, it's in the floodplain, but not considered something of any significance, right?
Well, that's,
Major significance, all floodplains are something.
that's what the DEC reviewed.
Yeah.
Chris, I think this has been submitted. Did you get a copy of this letter from them?
From the DEC, I don't have a DEC copy.
It is on the clock.
Oh, you got it here?
Oh, yeah, there you go. Yeah, obviously you've got this process started. Anthony did.
So the DEC's happy. There's no Army Corps,
Well, just, Mr. Chairman, they haven't reviewed and approved the application yet. They've just made their determination that it is a class 2 zone.
oh, okay.
Our plan, because we can't proceed without your approval or their approval, was to address the planning board first, get approval here, and then submit that to the DC. They could always come back with revisions that would require us to come back to you again. But
Let's hope not. All right, board, any questions of the applicant?
Was any of this property located in wetland?
well, that's what the DEC determination is that this is a class 2 area.
So, but, so not just for control there, but so everybody's clear that that was determination that it was wetland. When it was modified, a number of larger trees were taken down in that process, as well as, I guess, the removal of wetland that was also backfilled and leveled out to a level to eliminate the wetlands.
I'm not sure that there was any leveling out that was done. I visited the site. I didn't visit it before the work was done, but I've seen the site. The topography seems to be identical to everything around it. there is a small swale that was placed to try to contain the wetland area and not to remove it.
Means that the water was redirected from the area that is now part of the playground area. To be pushed back towards the rest of the wetland that still exists.
There is a small swale, yeah, I'd say it's about a foot high, that is just to kind of contain some of that.
So which means that I would take that to mean that the wetland was converted into not being wetland.
No, it's still within the DEC delineation area.
Were there any, this is a DCD question, were there any silver maple in that swamp?
I don't know if anybody actually visited this one, so.
I
We've
think
had some
there
very
is.
busy schedules, so it's been hard to visit every night.
I guess my point being is if pre-modification is probably not it's certainly an attractive playground area now. Pre-modification is not likely a modification that we would have approved. If somebody came in and said, I would like to convert this area into a playground. I think that based on our desire around natural resources and all of that, it probably is. I can only offer conjecture towards that, but walking by there every week since I lived down there, probably not something that we would have done. Yes, great idea, let's do that. So we're now dealing with something that was done and needs to be undone.
So just to Mr. Tolwert's point, just want to clarify, the playground area is not within the wetland area. That's on Mr. Hoff's private property. The area that is within the DC area, you see those two larger trees?
Yeah.
It's more to the back and to the left. There is you can just make it out in the corner, a temporary kind of, basically a baseball backstop kind of structure, chain link fence. That's in the area that's regulated, not the playground.
So would that be an allowable use within the regulated area? That backstop?
Well, the backstop's temporary, it just has couple stakes that can be taken down. Given the planting, if you want to put that back up, I'm not sure who has the controls. Kim, if you can put back up that Venezia drawing with the plantings. So that backstop area is right where those trees, you see there's sort of the group of 5 in the top right corner.
Sure.
So it's going to be removed.
Okay.
That's that area that you see there.
So the playground area is not on this friend's property?
No, it's on the private property of one of the homeowners.
I mean, I sort of looked at it from a standpoint, I know there's drainage issues on, that side of the lake. And as long as what's happened has not increased the grade or done any fill, that's why I asked the question about the grading. If there's no grading involved, then it's just more or less a landscaping
My name is
project.
Mike Spoletta.
Yes,
The area there was no fill or cuts on the area. What started off innocently is John Huff's put up a new garage, a tree fell on it, a dead tree. So at that point, they repaired, they took the tree down, and back there was old tires, there's all types of junk back there.
Mhm.
So started clearing it out, clearing it out, clearing it out. We never intended on putting any of the play area. It's on his private property, actually, it's right here. And play area, this is John Boss, it is right here. Not within the wetlands area, so. As we started clearing. Maybe a little too much clearing. We started on another dead tree. You could see we left some of the large trees that were in good shape. We left them there. So. We cleared the area up. We had silt fence, we just rock hounded it and seeded it to stabilize it. And that's where it is today. Grew up, it's completely dry. You walk back there now, even when it rains. There was no cattails in that area or wetlands. As Anthony Venencia said, it's in a wetland buffer, you're in the buffer area. So were we dead in the wetlands, behind us quite wet. Going behind this and to the right of it, so. That's where it stands today.
Okay. You guys okay, or? Is there anyone here or out there like to address the board on this issue? If not, so I'm looking at the ECB's comments right now, and Poplar Beach, you want some poplars?
Yeah, imagine that, right?
But you are native, right?
If you're, yes.
Boy, I hope so.
No, the street was named after Mr. and Mrs. Poplar.
Oh.
No. Yeah, who knows?
They're very popular.
All right,
So again,
It's too early to be this touchy.
yeah,
Mr. Robinson, your applicant be willing to accept the condition that some additional landscaping be done. More along the line that the planning board or the environmental board had asked for. Is there anything else this board wants as far as conditions? Obviously, there's the DEC class 2, having that settled up, making sure there's no issues there. Is that something that can be resolved quickly? Oh, that's right. It's a chicken and the egg thing.
Yeah.
Okay, so we'll hopefully do our thing and they can do their thing.
Yeah.
Return. Tim, you got that one?
Yeah, I just, is there a way that we can have no objection rather than a retroactive code?
no, this is legit,
It needs a permit.
yeah,
If they're restored,
so,
am I understanding that correctly, that the next steps will be satisfy DEC and the ECB to restore this area to more of a natural environmental area?
a little, but not, no, I don't think it's gonna require, but I think most of the work is done. In this particular situation, it looks like a little bit more landscaping is gonna have to be added. But. So the code says before you do the work, you need site plan approval. They didn't do that here. Code enforcement found out. Filed a violation with the town court, currently pending before the town court, a violation saying you didn't get your site plan approval. The town of Canandaigua has a longstanding policy of using the enforcement process to gain compliance. What the town needs is a site plan approved by the planning board. Now, does that make a ton of sense? No. Except that your job isn't to ensure your job isn't enforcement. Your job is approving or denying site plans. If the site plan is acceptable under our town code, if the findings section of our town code is complied with, then you can grant the site plan approval. The town court, the code enforcement officer in town court will deal with punishment and enforcement. Does that make sense? It's the way the town operates, it's the way all towns operate. Their retroactive site plan approval is a thing that happens and stuff like this. I mean, this is far less egregious than some
Is there an
retroactive.
example of another time this came before the board and the board approved?
Retroactive,
No,
Yeah.
or whether retroactive or in complete compliance.
what do you mean, like a clearing and grubbing?
Well,
Action.
Mark raises a good point. If this had come before the board. As in. Are there other examples where a project like this has come before the board and we have approved it?
You have approved it?
That we have approved?
Well, Sweatman came before the board last
What was
year.
that? Oh,
Make-
okay.
So landscaping,
Make-
well, landscaping on County Road 16 by Melinda. There was the one that you saw a couple
On,
months ago with the
Silverdale,
drainage culvert that was
Silverdale.
added, right next to their home just a few months ago.
Those
Oh.
are, those are different, those are blue line streams.
It was more just like the retroactive nature of the application, that the work was done. And then they came in for site plan approval.
I'm more in the lines of if this came to us originally as a site plan approval. Is there an example that this board has approved something?
Oh, okay, I see what you're saying.
And would the ECB have had as favorable comments on something like that as they have for this? No. No. Okay.
Tim, Mark, what would you have done different if this came in as a, you know, virgin application, wasn't retroactive?
Well, there would have been, if it came in, there would have been a wetland determination. Right? And then ECB is, as pointed out, probably would not have had favorable comments. And I tried to rely on our advisory boards.
Yeah.
On situations like this. So again, I'm getting stuck on this retroactive approval. Is there another path forward that we can take? So this moves forward and gets resolved.
Until you said the end of that sentence, I was gonna say, of course there is, you can deny site plan approval, at which point Mike and Murphy and I will have to. Ask the judge for, you know, to find the defendants guilty of the violation, refile per day of a daily fine. I think it's $250 per day of the continuing violation. And then we would file in Supreme Court for an order to restore, except how in the world did they restore this? So
Yeah, if I could
there's
just
no
speak,
real way to resolve it, but for site plan, and site plan is to ensure people are allowed to do stuff on their property, we don't know that. And we have standards, elements in our town code for what is required for site plan approval. They satisfy what's in their code, they're, you know, they're allowed
I
to do
just
stuff.
hate this, for this to be a precedent for somebody to come.
No, not yours, that's not something.
Not at
Yeah, it's
all.
not a precedent.
But also that's not your concern. Your concern is whether they satisfy the requirements for site plan. You know. This isn't gonna be the only retroactive site plan approval that you're ever gonna see. The town of Canandaigua honestly doesn't see a ton of them comparatively. I think a lot of municipalities see a lot more of this. We have fairly active code enforcement and they find, you know, stuff like this doesn't happen. This is clearing and grubbing, not, you know, mass earth excavation or putting up a, you know, pole barn when.
It sounds like someone was just trying to clean up their property, to be honest. That's what it sounds like to me. However, it's just, I would not like to hear this come back to this board saying, well, you approved this.
No, well. Each application, well, you approve this, shouldn't factor into the planning board's decision. You have site plan findings of fact to make. And if they satisfy those, you're obligated to grant site plan approval.
I think, Chris, it's been your policy and town policy that any violation can be rectified by filing the proper application and going through, rather than going to the fine. And that,
The town doesn't want their $250 a day. The town wants them to have a reviewed and approved site plan. The reason I'm telling you, no, there's no other option. There's no, okay, we don't really have a problem with this. You have to grant site plan approval because when you grant site plan approval, that's saying town engineer has reviewed this, code enforcement has reviewed this, zoning has reviewed this. 5 members of this board have reviewed this. And we find that the technical elements of site plan approval, which are what protects our lake and our watershed, have been satisfied. You know, if they pitched it this way and all that stuff was running into the lake, you couldn't grant site plan. So it's a stopgap, it's a protective measure for this board to say, we're reviewing it. It's in compliance with our code. That's for protective purposes. You know, they're not violating our code, which is there to protect our lake, I think. So, and that's what the town wants, is that is compliance with our code, not their $250 a day. I can get their $250 a day easy, because they did it. But we don't want it. We want them to have an approved site plan.
Agreed.
Mr. Chairman, if
As
I
long
could,
as the landscaping and the DEC is satisfied, agree with the conditions, I think we've done our job.
Thanks for that explanation.
Yeah, no problem. Good discussion. All right, anything else? We are ready to move on. This is considered a type 2 action under seeker. When we take that separate from the resolution, because the resolution might have some additional conditions. So I'll make the motion regarding that. We declare this a type 2 action, thereby no further review is under part 617 of the seeker regulations is required, and I make that motion.
I'll second.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Okay,
I'll
let's,
abstain on that, Chuck.
okay, so it's, did you say I, 4 with 1 abstention? Let's go to single stage site plan resolution. Why don't you give us the conditions you have here?
The two that you see in the draft resolutions, the floodplain development permit, that was a request by Mike Murphy. Additional conditions, condition 3 being additional landscaping is to be provided on the site plan, to meet the comments of the UCD. And condition 4, satisfactory approval of the New York State DEC shall be obtained. And record of approval shall be provided to the town government.
Okay.
Do we, with the landscape portion, do we think it would be beneficial if we ask our chairman to review that on behalf of the planning board? Or do we need to keep kind of that caveat, or?
I think between staff and myself, yeah, we would like check it out before we sign them.
Would this be the landscape plan right there? Or that's just the site
Like
plan,
that?
there's no landscape plan? So notes from the zone.
Yes,
So that's what I-
it'd be a modification of that plan.
Yeah, I was gonna say additional landscaping is provided on the site plan.
Yeah, because we normally see what types, what calibers.
And that plan was dated August 29th. Last year.
Of last year, yeah.
Last year, yep. That's all that's been going on. Okay, so I need a motion to that effect. With those are 4 conditions.
I'll make a motion to approve that single stage site plan on Poplar Beach, CPN 24-108. With the, I forget, 5 now? 4 conditions for approval.
Second?
I'll second.
There you go, motion second for discussion. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
Abstention. Crystal, you have.
Or approve 1
You can see
abstention.
better.
Let the record show. Okay, thanks, folks.
before we leave, Mr. Chairman,
Yeah.
just, it might be helpful, I'm not asking for anything fixed, but as the applicants go back and review that, there was no sort of even recommendation from ECB about how many additional trees. They just said, we want to see some more, we prefer these, varieties. Do you have any general guidance for us based upon what's already submitted, how many additional trees you might be looking for?
That's why I said the landscape plan was the landscape plan, that plan.
That's what we have submitted as our
That
proposal.
was their plan. Yeah, I think they were gonna revise that plan,
Based on.
Anthony,
but I guess.
Anthony will know.
We can revise without direction, I just
Anthony
wanted
will
to
know.
ask.
Yeah.
Right,
Yeah,
And
We'll
then,
submit something then.
not light, don't go light, just tell Anthony, don't go light.
Okay. Thank you.
okay, good to see you again.
Yeah, that's right. Good, good conditions for it.
All right, we have CPN 2025-054. Jim Colombo representing property at 3225 State Route 364, a special use permit for a commercial speech sign on a storefront in the Roseland Plaza in the community commercial zoning district. And I will open the hearing, and I assume you're Mr. Colombo?
Yes, I am Jim Colombo, Skylight Signs.
Welcome, Jim.
60 Industrial Park Circle in Rochester representing, we'll call him JX Foot Spa for now, okay? So no matter how I pronounce it, it's probably not gonna be right. But however, we conform to what the frontage is for 1 square foot for linear footage for size of the sign. Just to conform to that, it's just a set of channel letters, individually face lit LEDs inside, which we put on a timer per the plaza owner specs on when they will be shut off as far as that is concerned. But other than that, I'll open it up to everybody here. If you have any other questions, should be pretty well cut and dry that we've been through the process and I've been through the cloud permit, if you can believe that. Thank you to
Oh,
Sarah.
yeah.
Okay, make sure Sarah
Came
gets
back.
my, cause all these years dealing with Canandaigua and Farmington and everybody else around here and selling signs. It's getting a little bit, easier, but I'm retiring, so.
We gotta stop that.
I'll help everybody else. How's that sound? Soon, but any other questions?
I think it's pretty clear. You said it's 24 square feet. But if you, just down a little bit, Kim, so we can see the. What you're showing there is 36 by 90. 96, is that 24 square feet? Is that what it is?
3 times 8.
Yeah, it is.
Remember, they got slide.
Yeah, that's what I need.
Yeah, I guess.
It's Kristen. You had submitted a waiver, I think. Yeah. I'm not sure what, you asked, there's a waiver request and I was looking to see what you were
I
requesting.
think he attached everything to that.
And you said you want a waiver requested for sign installation. I don't. So is it
I changed it, I think,
No.
because I had to go
is
small.
this essentially your application possibly? Not.
That could be the original one. But then I had to
You
go
know
on.
what he was requesting a waiver from?
It is not.
No. I
Oh,
wasn't.
it's like
Usually it's a waiver from
site.
professional prepared
Yeah.
plans, because it's just a building.
Okay.
maintenance.
That makes
No
sense.
issues.
Yep.
I thought you wanted to waive putting the sign up.
Uh,
All right, that's all I have. Anybody in the audience? Regarding this application at Roseland, I see you've got the application signed by Whitewater,
yep,
so.
yes, I did.
The actual owner of the property. So I think we're ready to move forward. So this is, I'll close the hearing. And since it is a special use permit, it's. Well, it's type 2. This is type 2 right here.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's do let's do them both. Give me a motion for both the resolution and the both resolutions, please.
So moved. We don't usually bundle these, that's why I was like,
Second.
okay.
Any conditions of any,
No additional conditions. I do need to
How do you
change the
say waiver?
waiver whereas revised the Senate. Don't have an additional.
okay. All right. All right, anybody have any further comments, questions? Have a motion and a second, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Jim, thanks for coming out.
Thanks for your time, everybody. Have a good night.
Good night. Good spot, good spot. All right, moving to the podium, Mr. McMahon for property 5202, and that is the address assigned to that lot for site plan approval on Foster Road. This is lot 5 of the subdivision out there. And we also have 5220 Foster Road for lot 4. I guess we can take them sort of together, but we'll have to do separate motions when we come to that point. So Greg, why don't you talk about both lots?
All right, well, good evening, Greg McMahon, and LaRue. These are the last 2 lots that we're bringing before you tonight. 4 and 5, they straddle the private drive that serves lots 1, 2, and 3. They're road frontage lots. They're under contract. Single family home on sewer, water. The grading, most of the grading work out here has been completed as part of what's been going on with the grading out there. Their own private driveway.
How they're going up?
They're pretty straightforward. The house plans have been submitted. So I think that we did get comments from MRB. We responded by uploading those to Cloud Permit today, revised plans addressing MRB comments. I think the ECB comments were pretty much the same comments that we've seen on all of the previous 5 lots. So we think we've addressed everything that's been brought to us.
I guess on Craig, on lot 5.
Okay.
You have that cross pipe that's coming across from Notre Dame.
Yes.
Is the outfall of that in the right of way of Foster Road, or is it on within the easement and on the property of what? It's tough to tell from the
It is right just at the right of way line, Foster Road.
All right, so there is no portion of the pipe that would have to be, that is out of the public right of way. That's essentially what I'm getting at.
No, it appears that it is right at the right of way, and there is an easement that was executed for that drainage across.
Okay. Very good. And I believe that lot's a 2-story home. And lot 4 is a single story, according to the plans that were submitted, so.
Yeah.
Duly noted. Your drywall detail. On your detail sheet, if you would label that as to what that is, the detail's there, but there's no title as to what it is. You could label that on both drawings, yes.
Yeah.
I did see you put the driveway paving note in, about
Yes.
30 feet. Anyhow, for what we talked about, again, MRB, you saw Greg's response.
We haven't looked at it yet, but I don't think there's.
They looked
much
at it,
there.
yeah, it looked like you comply with most of them, so.
Yeah, it's very similar to the last 2 lots and.
The ECB, as you said, minimum tree removal, native species, for anything you put back in. Make sure you do, lake-friendly, lawn care. The thing I will ask, there were quite a few trees taken down, on these, well, across that frontage, in front of the barn. And, there's sort of a precedent set with the along Foster Road. of a tree line. It's just out of the right of way, sort of, yeah, just out of the right of way, running parallel with the road. I was wondering maybe if, you would consider possibly putting some trees in to sort of continue that tree line to, because you did take a lot of trees out. We didn't really require you to put any trees back in. You're certainly preserving the trees around the perimeter, which is all well and good. But wondering if you could maybe, as part of these two lots, and I know I sort of missed the boat on the other two lots, the ones on either side, but ask Gerber if they could consider it.
I think,
Oh, Nick's,
Nick, it might be online.
Yeah, this is Nick. Yeah, that's something we can consider. What kind of trees were you thinking? Similar to what was already there down the street?
well, certainly something native, and we're not asking for anything more than a 2.5, 3 inch caliber to start out with. But
Okay.
just something that, you're familiar with the area, you know that those existing homes have trees out in front of them. And
Yep.
to continue that tree line view would be, I think, appreciated.
Yeah, I think that's something we can do on those two lots.
Okay. Would you think about it on the two lots, the other two lots that were already approved possibly?
Yeah, I'll just have to confirm with the new owners because we did transfer it into their name already, those two lots, so. But yes.
All right. If you could check with them, appreciate it.
Yep.
Okay, if you could show it on these two lots.
Got a note.
Okay. Native species, anything in particular, Kim, as far as tree species?
Maples are always, oaks are always.
I think there's some maples there,
Yeah.
on the round property and down the left. Okay, I appreciate you doing that. Anything else? Anybody in the audience?
Greg, can I ask a question?
Sure.
Why did you bring your silt fence all the way around the back? I'm trying to see your lines, but there's some drainage toward the back, there's no silt fence back, which is where the gorge is back then. It just ends at the back of
The silt fence, you're talking about lot 5.
yes.
We run it down the east property line.
Yep.
And then terminate it.
I'm looking at your contours, 941, 930, 938. It's falling down toward the middle too, toward the
Mhm.
back.
I can take a look at
That's
that,
what I was looking to
and
ask.
see what, I'd have to look at the overall plan, because we may have already there may already be silt fence back there on one of the other projects. So,
That's lot 2, so we always talked about this property containing it. I appreciate your site, your silt fence, 'cause some of them are so hard to see. Tiny lines, I don't see that one.
Anybody else? Anything else, Bob?
No.
Okay, I think we're ready to move. Seeker's been taken care of on this subdivision, so we can move right to the final site plan. Let's do lot 5 first. Someone want to give me a motion?
I'll make the motion for the final phase site plans for lot 5, 25-058. We have 6 conditions.
I added 2 for consideration, the detail for the drywall will be revised to include the title. And the plans will be revised to include a tree planting along the right of way.
Parallel to the railroad, yeah. Okay,
Outside. Right away?
It's gotta be on the property.
no, it's on the property, yeah, it's outside of the
Yeah.
railroad. And obviously not over the sewer line or the water line. That meet your approval?
Of course.
Okay, so that's a motion.
Second.
Any further discussion? All in favor on lot 5, say aye.
Aye.
Someone want to do lot 4?
4. It's not.
for 25-060, this is for lot 4, final stage site plan resolution. There were 6 original conditions, but I believe the 2 you apply as well here, so a total of 8.
Second.
The motion is second. Is further discussion? If not, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
Thank you.
Thank you, Greg. All right. CPN 25059, Bren Wood. Property at 3568 County Route 16, a site plan seeking site plan approval for a 2,400 square foot private detached garage in the RLD within 500 feet of the lake. Mr. Wood?
Hi, guys. Brendan Wood, 3568 Westlake Road. Actually brought my dad too, who lives 2 doors down.
Keep it straight, will you?
It's a lot of work. There's a lot of stuff uploaded in here. I don't know if you guys saw, but we've got a letter. Both immediate neighbors that are not us are in support of the project. Talked to them, showed them plans. Have a letter from the one on the south side already. People in the north didn't email it yet. Need to remind them again, but so they've seen everything. Neighbors are supportive, and basically we're looking to add what is either a large garage or a small pole barn at the back of our property. It's basically for seasonal use. So we keep some trailers and stuff in back already. And it's going to give us an opportunity to consolidate for seasonal storage for boats and that sort of thing, basically. So we'll pull stuff out in the spring, put it back in the fall, and that's really it. It's not like a daily access or regular access thing. Couple things to note here. So I actually own the house to the north with my wife, my sibling, and my brother-in-law. So that is the other person that might oppose this is us. So there's no arguments there. And the recent change in code was kind of interesting to navigate here, just as a reference point too. So with the elimination of the square footage restriction on accessory structures in a residential district as of, I think, February or March, the height limitation is still in place. So you'll see a note on there, and it's kind of hard to see because there's a lot of stuff on this one page in particular. We actually need to build a foundation wall that's 6 feet high with a footing on the west side. So you'll see kind of a thicker line on the west side and the south. So that actually drops this down several feet below ground for the majority of the structure at the back there.
Okay.
I had a nice visit with the gentleman from the ECB, so walked him through it at the property a couple weeks ago. So talked through stuff there. So we had a recent addition at their suggestion, which is the little kind of pink purple octagon there is a dry well for downspout ducting. We talked about tree cover and stuff, and it's pretty well wooded in front already. So they didn't really have any specific requests about adding anything additional or changing anything. Just wanted to make sure that we weren't removing anything additional that screens it from the lake in front. And a little bit of background on this too. So my folks just moved near us, but they used to live further down the road and had a very similar setup for a long time. Basically a small pole barn at the back of the property for seasonal storage, down at 4174, if anybody wants to see that as a reference point. It's not going to be white. I know there were some concerns about that. Looking to keep it a kind of earth tone, darker color, just so it's not, folks that are across the lake from us don't have to stare at it.
Your house is blue, isn't it?
It is, yeah.
I remember you came when you did your driveway.
Yeah, we've seen you guys a lot.
Yeah, that was a nice job. I mean, that's really nice.
Thank you.
I go
Yeah,
by
we
there
did
a lot.
the lakefront a few years ago, and then the house a couple 2 years ago. But we don't really want to see this out our back window, and the neighbors don't want to see it either. So kind of general design is to try to minimize the visual impact as much as possible.
A great example of that, I'm reminded of regularly, it's not actually in our town. If you drive north towards the Thruway, the old metalworks building that was on the left-hand side used to be that almost white, there was a white roof with a light, kind of a sky blue building. Periphery, you noticed it every day.
Blinding. Yeah.
Now they turned it, they just painted it.
And it kind of
don't notice it anymore.
Well, it's interesting. So we have neighbors who you guys may have seen. They're doing pretty significant renovations to the house to the immediate north, and they're a little bit west too, so they actually kind of look out over the corner of this, and I brought the plans to them, and, you know, part of the reason I wanted to facilitate the process with you guys, I'll explain in a minute, but I said, hey, here's what we're thinking of doing, what do you think? And they said, just don't do a white roof, because they want on top of it. So I think we'll do like a kind of mid-range gray to try and keep it toned down a little bit. Part of the concern with this project and timing, and you know, the town has asked for a bunch of stuff, that's why a lot of things uploaded in there. We're also looking to do solar on the south facing roof. The building actually turns a little bit away from the lake. You'll see the pitch is almost like clockwise rotated. So that part won't be visible from, basically it kind of faces away from the lake there, but we're looking to get that installed before the incentives disappear at the end of this calendar year.
Back right up to Bramblewood, is that right? Pretty much.
It's about, so it's HOA space for Fox Ridge directly behind us there. And then it's about 300 feet through the woods to the individual properties, one of which is my in-laws, so they were interested to hear what we were doing too.
Got a compound.
Yeah. Yeah.
I relative on Bramblewood, so I'm the one.
Yeah, it's below the horizon there. We've got some trees you can see from up there, but no structures or anything.
I saw it was pretty wooded.
So Brennan, as far as getting items into the garage, boats, trailers, how would you do that?
I can show you here. So we're doing, the plan is a 16-foot wide, 11-foot high door in the center of this north wall. Basically, we only want the one access point. We actually, we parked a couple empty trailers up here in the summer already. So same access we have, but it lets us kind of pull across the front and then back stuff into it. And then a man door immediately to the right. There's 3 windows planned across the front, and then one at the back for ventilation and stuff, but.
And you bring them up your other property?
Well, yeah, we can go around the south end of the house here, or the north side of the property there. And honestly, the only real challenge is the construction materials, as everything else is a lot smaller. We're using Seneca pole barns, and I described the access and the situation because it's a trust, you know, purlins and stuff. And he said, no problem. So they're gonna hoof some of the stuff up there.
So, yeah, I saw an email in there from the neighbor who's gonna allow you to use it for access for.
Neighbors, yeah, neighbors on both sides have voiced willingness for, you know, a couple days worth of access to get stuff in and out. But for regular access, it's less of a concern. Like I said, we've got the same trailers we're gonna put in the barn up there already.
Your barn surface stone, concrete?
It's stone to start. We'll see if we can swing the concrete part one thing at a time. The only concrete we need initially is for the footing, and then they're planning a block wall. I think we'll have the plans for the actual structure itself are coming from the pole barn installer, so I should have those in the next couple of weeks.
Eric, that retaining wall, do you want to see that at all?
Yeah, we asked for that.
Oh, you did in your letter? Drainage consent, okay. Yeah, I guess the only thing is drainage, and you've provided a stormwater management facility. Yeah, water comes off that hill as well, you know.
Yeah, we're well acquainted. Just as a point of note there too, based on the size of the structure, according to Mark's engineering, wasn't strictly required for the dry well, but given the location and the runoff and surface and hydrostatic and all that stuff, I think the more we can take care of it, the better.
Good insurance for you too.
Yeah.
Being the downhill structure, yeah.
Yeah.
Stormwater control, no driveway access, neighbors letters. You had stated, I guess, a couple times, no trees are being removed as part of this, so you can squeeze this thing in up there without taking down
Yeah,
a tree.
there's a little bit of a clearing, like if you go the page up is actually existing conditions, there's a little bit of a clearing there already. You'll see most of the trees are kind of at that narrower section before it gets to the flag lot piece back there.
Utilities to the barn?
They're in place already, so we have a lateral geothermal install. So there are two 2-inch conduit run back there already for electric and power from the house. They're
Yep.
actually noted,
Okay.
Yeah, I
it's
saw
hard to see, but
Yeah.
they're called out about 10 feet behind the
But no
building.
water, no water line, no water service to the farm.
It will be water and electric.
Oh, okay.
Yep. Yeah, we talked about it during PRC. I think there was.
Yeah, I
gonna be a-
remember it was discussed.
Yeah, I think they were gonna send it to
Some
the
meeting.
water district for.
CB, stormwater control plannings, MRB, drainage concerns. We're okay with shoreline guidelines and standing view shed, I think this is tucked well enough up the hill and
Hard to even
into
see.
the hill. So it's not an issue as far as view from the lake.
If we have water problems up there, I think we're all in. trouble.
Well, you'll be the first one to know.
Yeah, I'm actually more concerned about the lift station they just rehabbed next to us than the water.
Your site distance from your existing driveway, I know it doesn't pertain to the barn. It's only 200 feet to the north. Is that
Yeah, they added it in and I don't know
Thought you-
when they did the shots, to be honest with you, because if you guys are familiar with that corner, it's my primary residence, place we bought with the family, and then the lift station for sewer right there.
Right.
It's kind of at a slight curve in the road, and the people we bought it from, there was a lot of vegetation and stuff hanging out over the swale and ditch and stuff there. And it has since been cleared out, so I don't know
Okay.
if what
Well,
was put on there is
it
current.
doesn't
but
pertain to
it's-
the barn, but yeah, I
Yeah.
just sold, I said, oh, only 200 feet. You sold that too, right, Tim?
Yeah, it's better than it was,
Okay.
but it's not great to the north. But no change to existing.
In your zoning table, you say that your building coverage and lot coverage are less than the allowable or maximum. Do you have the actual lot coverage percentage and building?
Yeah, it's noted on one of the, it might actually be on this exact.
Well, that's the only table I saw there. And it just says less than 15 and less than 25.
Oh,
It'd be nice if you could
I can ask them to calculate.
provide the proposed. That should be shown,
Okay.
and it's all in the RLD, code enforcement was okay, they had no comments. Anybody in the audience? Ted, do you have anything any objections? No? Okay, all right, hearing none. I think we're ready to move on unless the board has any other questions. Okay. Let's take,
Can I ask, can you guys send me a note for the plan update percentage, like exact coverage? I can ask Marks to update.
yeah, it'll be a condition of the
Okay.
on the resolution. Okay, let's speaking of resolutions, let's take the seeker and the site plan together. Someone will do that.
I'll do a bundle on the secret resolution type 2 action at 3568 County Road 16 for CPN 25-059. Type 2, no further review under part 617 and the single stage site plan resolution for approval with, I don't know if you added any more than the 6, with the 6 conditions as stated.
Well, you had the building and lot coverage, right?
Yeah, we're done.
Condition 7. the
Yeah,
building lot
actually-
coverage will be added to the.
The actual building coverage and lot coverage percentages. You put in the zoning data block.
Does,
Anything else?
I've asked this question about certificate of occupancy for the lawn on an accessory building, I really needed. That's,
Site stabilization.
Yeah.
We'll need electrical inspection, that kind of thing too, but I think it's an abbreviated.
well, you won't get a certificate of occupancy
Yeah.
until it's
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
stabilized.
I mean,
But-
the size.
Wait,
Well,
huh?
I would think it would be.
You mean, you want
That's
a
what
letter
it's
from
credit.
Well, we've had it both ways, so I'm just wondering, I mean, that's, we've added this or the town's discretion, if it's the winter time, you can't put it in, blah, blah, blah.
Oh,
So
okay.
it's,
Say letter of credit in an amount approved by the town engineer. Shall be, for landscaping, shall be posted prior to signature and put, right?
yeah, that's fine too. Yeah.
Why are you looking
As
at
long as it doesn't.
Because, well, we already have the condition for soil stabilization and erosion control surety estimate. Is that what you're talking about? You're talking about condition 6, where it says no bed plans that all lawn areas shall be seeded and established prior to the step. And site stabilized with the CTC.
Right, my only question is, we say this for a single family home, but I don't know if we do it for accessory buildings.
Well, 6, I believe that language comes from the site design and development criteria, so I don't think it applies to just one or the other.
I think it's any site work, right, that we need to, and it. Timing wise, we should be okay for this fall too.
Yeah, good, that's why. There's an out though.
Eric, is that draft and Bob permit already, or do you guys upload?
The
it after?
resolution stuff, no, it's not up in Buckrow yet, we'll be there in the next couple of days.
Cool, okay.
So I got a motion from Bob.
I'll second.
Okay, thank you very much. For discussions, if not, all in favor?
I,
Opposed? Ayes have it. Good to see you fellows.
Thanks, guys, appreciate it.
Yeah, thanks for coming out. Okay, we have minutes from July the 8th. Any further corrections, additions to the published minutes?
I spent those.
Okay, give me a motion.
So moved.
You get a motion, to accept the minutes provided by Karim. Thank you very much. All in favor, second. Second. All in favor? Aye. Opposed? Okay, we have some money to give away. From Pierce Brook. Not give away, but give back.
That's a better way to say it.
Everyone familiar with the request? Someone named Mark wanna make?
Oh, Amanda's gonna jump on him.
Oh, man, it's gonna beat you to it. Go for it.
I'm not. If by any means approval, then I will make a motion to release the letter of credit for $59,944.29 for CBN 23038 Pierce Brook, section 2A.
Okay, thank you.
I'll second it.
Thank you. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Okay. They got their money back. Let's see, what else we got? Anything? At Sandy Cove. Sandy Cove, did that get pushed back? Did the ZBA?
Which one is that?
That's the one we did the deck. Oh, that's the one he decided that he's gonna try his darndest to save the tree.
They did. They revised it.
They did.
Yeah, that's good.
And I think he did approve.
I don't get any updates. This is 4 hour.
Yeah, Sandy Cove got approved, okay. So, next meeting, I will not be here.
Chuck.
What? Yeah, give you a break.
It's not allowed, Chuck.
Slave
Yeah,
law.
I'll throw it there.
Duly noted.
I've already been called.
And I thought I dodged the solar, but they got continued at ZBA, so that means we won't see it until September. So we've got more time to do our homework on the solar. So we have another sign. We have a revision of the Cooley Road again. The Wolf Angle.
Does anybody else look at that project and when you look at it on the papers, it looks like it's like a half mile off the road and then when you get there, it's, how is this absolutely so close to the road?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Wait, is this the house that like?
Very visual. And we have 4 properties on Brickyard.
Yeah.
Very
That they have to amend their plans because they raised the plural. So that's August 12th.
Chuck.
Yes,
Can I
Mark.
vent for a moment?
Ben,
That's the floor.
good. Why don't you wait till the 12th?
Wait for the-
Here's seconds. We made it like.
I get 2 minutes.
I got my blackjack.
I wish we could find a way to get better with our stormwater understanding.
Some water understanding.
For example, one of the project
Folks.
that, so in general, the project that we looked at tonight.
Which
it's
one?
The Poplar Beach. It's an attractive project. It's not that. I'm very confident that if they came in and asked us to do that, they would not have allowed it. If you just go and look at the Encore maps. And look at the amount of area that they cleared. And if they had requested that.
Well, how would you have denied them? On what
They're
grounds?
touching a wetland and they're introducing a swale that redirects the water.
Yeah, they're allowed to do that, so long as,
The DEC allows it too.
as long as it does, redirects the water to the right place.
Wouldn't we have pushed it to the other direction? So that corner,
Oh.
damn,
Yeah,
we would have pushed it and that corner is a mess anyways. And the reason I'm choosing to vent on this topic is because that whole area flooded. Because of another thing that we weren't careful enough in stopping the water management, flooded hard. From up the street when they clear cut that land, when we had no intent for them to do that. Right, so that same corner took heavy water because. Then, what we're encouraging is begging forgiveness.
no, you're not encouraging or discouraging. That is not, like, and
We are. Cause
Maybe,
what it
but-
says is that if I get a good enough attorney that's willing to come after all of this, come and talk to you,
nope.
that will
It
come up with
really,
a compromise.
so it really isn't, and I'll tell you based on doing this for 18 years. that We allow this, what the town wants is a site plan, and. So maybe you would have and I don't know the details of the site plan, and I'm not. And I was gonna come over and say this to you, Tim. I'm glad you asked the question, I'm glad you disagreed. I've done this for 18 years, so I know that this is the way the town wants to do it, and it's legal to do it this way.
Now, I'm not
When-
questioning our.
Had it come to it, had they come to ask permission. And they said, here's our site plan, and look, we're redirecting the water this way, and you said, no, I want you to redirect it this way. And they said, and so what always happens is the applicant goes, oh, okay, when you say that. Because there's other things that they want from you, waivers, leniency, flexibility. If it came down to it, eventually I would probably have to say, look, guys, if they sue you, if you deny them because they're putting the water in the wrong place, if they're not redirecting the water where you want it, even though they're allowed to direct it this way, they win in a loss. So whether you would have liked to have given it or tried to get them to change it, it's different than you wouldn't have approved.
Would we have approved a reduction of a wetland? Would we
Sure.
appro- would
Do
we
that all
re-
the time.
Would we approved a reduction of what we label as an RI? I mean, it's, again, yes.
Why did
is.
it come to us?
And
The only reason it came to us was because they cleared more than 500 square feet of property. That's
Yeah,
it. I mean, it had nothing to do with grading. I didn't think there was any grading.
Well, okay,
well,
grading,
City of
you know.
Rock pounded it. They just.
Well, yeah,
you gotta
got my
remove the
attention to
aids for
that.
that.
Use a piece of equipment.
But I mean,
No, I know.
theoretically, all we would have approved and we would have been involved with was the land clearing. Which is essentially top up.
You can-
right?
Yeah,
I mean, Kim's pulled it up for us to look at. Again, my bigger concern is stormwater. I don't think.
Oh, yeah.
I don't believe that and maybe we did something better. I don't know the answer
Can
to
you add
that.
the layer for DEC?
But
Wetland?
I don't know. I really feel like we need to better understand what water happens because that big thing that we're all worried about out in front of it. And why we do so much of this is water. And I don't think that this knows it well.
Other environmental info,
Like any normal application or just the retroactive ones?
New York State.
this area, I
DEC
think
wetland.
Mark's point is this area and retroactive.
Oh, yeah.
Well, this area is.
Which, by the way,
It's an issue.
don't worry, Mark, this area is bone dry. The picture, right, did you guys see right at the corner of the
Yeah.
playground?
It was.
Little mini lake, yeah.
Yeah, no, it was wet.
So that's the wetland right there.
Yeah.
On the
It was
DEC.
on their own site plan, I think it was,
So that was floodplain.
No, their site plan's impossible wetlands
That was-
or something like
it's
that.
impossible,
But
DEC.
the DEC wetland is right there, and it's about, I just measured it from where they were.
Alright, but zoom in, just do me a favor, so just.
It's
make it-
138 feet away.
Kim, is that the same as the
300 feet.
informational wetland boundary?
Like the box below that one.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, it must be.
There, okay, so it comes down and now zoom in on that from.
That's informational.
Well,
I
that's how they
get it,
reclassified, the DEC, like
Right.
reclassified their.
So,
wetland
Because
boundaries.
they can't,
2
they
points,
can't say that they're actual wetlands.
2 points. I would make with this is. I don't feel we know enough about what water does in this group. 1. 2, I do not believe they came in here. And said, yes, I would, now zoom in a little bit closer, so let's look at what we actually cleared here. Which,
Take the blue off.
yeah, take the blue off, sorry. Now just.
You can
so we see.
you can,
Go back to the
Wait,
corner, so right there, that little white
where?
building, the yellow line there, right there.
That's it.
Double the size of that into the woods. Double the size of that green area into the
So
woods.
can you center that? Can you center that?
Because
Zoom out.
a lot of drivers here.
Yeah, that's,
I know.
that's a wood.
Go left, go right.
But if you put the wetland,
it's gonna run right up to that. Boom.
it's in it.
and no, that's informational. It's not the DEC wetland.
Put a trailer in the back and then you'll take interest.
I'm not gonna put a trailer. in wetland.
Even close.
Well,
Well, I think the point that, and I'm very uncomfortable with, expressing, is that just the application coming in there, even with the information, it would have went to DEC before they could even come to us.
Then we would know.
so I guess, can I ask? And as part of, and not arguing with you. What would you rather have seen done? Let them continue in violation?
Right, that was the other thing.
This is unrestorable, right?
Is it?
Well,
I don't know, I don't believe in.
Can't
So
replant trees.
I don't understand
Mature
the
growth tree.
legal and punitive process. We're playing,
Yes.
okay?
Yeah, I'm not
Look,
looking.
if they violated the law, and we just made it easier for them, and as Mark appropriately said, because I feel the same way. It's easier to ask for forgiveness than to ask for approval. And I don't want to promote that. As a member of this planning board, I don't want to promote that.
Oh, I got you. I understand. Again, so couple of responses. One, that's actually not your role as a planning board member to promote or discourage. I understand your point, though. Obviously, you don't want to promote that. In reality, in my experience, of doing this in this town for 18 years. What discourages the retroactive asking for forgiveness rather than permission is. If you don't do it, then I go to Supreme Court and have it taken down. And it's actually come to that. 2 or 3 times in the last 18 years. We've always managed to avoid it. Somebody built their house too tall. Nope, the zoning board said, nope, we're not giving you the retroactive variance. So the reason people don't generally do this and ask for forgiveness, the reason you've never seen one. Is because it doesn't actually happen that often. We're not promoting it by doing this. Because this is a light scenario. They cleared, however many trees and, cleaned up some property. That's different than building your house too high or putting in the drainage swale and it doesn't work. Then they've got to go correct it or tear it out. So that we're not being hit by an epidemic of people doing stuff without site plan approval and then asking for forgiveness retroactively. Because there's too much risk for the property owner to do that.
Well, they will have to get a permit from the DEC.
Yeah.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
not easy to get it.
And is there a potential violation from the DEC if?
Oh, maybe.
So if they gotta flag the wetlands, that would be the first step in the process.
Yeah,
And if they made alterations within the wetlands without a permit. Has DEC said, no, we're not gonna pursue anything, or do they have to get it delineated first? If the DEC might find a violation.
they would have to delineate it or the D's, yeah, there's a whole new process.
Because the last class I went to, they said the DEC said that if you're within 100 feet, that's fine. Or past 100 feet, you're fine. If you're within 100 feet, there's mitigations that you can do to mitigate even up to 50 feet. I mean,
Yeah.
that's, I remember from our last class, we were there.
Tim, I don't know is the answer. I don't know
Well,
if
maybe
DEC is
it's
looking for penalties. I don't think they are. I think they're looking like the
I mean,
penalties
that's where I
for
was,
compliance.
100 feet.
You know, there's a chance that there's a bunch of unpermitted, unapproved projects out there that we literally just I don't know about, and the code enforcement doesn't know about, but I just don't think there is. Because there's too much of a chance that somebody rats their neighbor out, honestly. You never believe what Max Paletta did to his property.
Oh,
And
yeah.
Mike Murphy has to go out there and say, oh, yeah, you cleared 501 feet of trees. And now I gotta cite you, and the other part of it is they cleared the trees. And, you know, I'm not saying it doesn't excuse their conduct. These guys, you know, Dave Christa, Mike Spalletta. These guys have companies that have a lot of equipment and guys, and I think they probably said, oh, let's get this guy's tree out, and then they just kept going. Oh, wait, our grandkids would love it if we just.
A ball field.
Yeah, don't worry, it's temporary. You know, so I think that's how it happened. There, Mike Spletta and Dave Christa know what better than to do stuff without permission because it costs too much. They had to pay Terrence a small fortune to get this sorted out. It would have cost them less to just get the approval in advance.
Tim, I thought of a response to your question about similar projects that got retroactive approval.
Oh,
At right up on Poplar Beach, 3400. They built a
No, bad example,
break wall.
bad example.
That's a bad example.
It's just a bad example.
thanks for trying.
Well, they got let it go, let it go.
We have
Resolved. Yes, they got approval. Yes, Eric's correct. They did get approval. Bad example.
It's a difficult process.
Remember, we had
That
an
one's
epidemic,
important.
we had an epidemic of developers, I guess was, well, a certain developer
Okay, so.
putting houses in too high.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
They raised the more than a foot and they had retroactivity come back to us. And we had to make sure that in raising the house, they didn't affect the grading.
And it did.
And they did, and they had to change things and. I mean, short of being out there doing inspections, I don't know, you know, we have to rely on code to bring that to our attention, I guess. A lot of times we get them after the fact.
Project across the other side of,
We have too many reasons why.
Westlake Road, where they put a big one.
One of them.
No, not Westlake, Westlake Road.
Westlake?
No,
Right.
East.
There were-
Oh, now we're in.
This was the actual resolution.
Wasn't like,
For them going in.
here's the mean high water mark and you built here.
And they shut them down.
They got fined.
You know,
They get fined.
there was a cutout with a tree there.
We did not clearly specify in the conditions that they could not go in and clear cut. We could go back to the rest of the meetings and everything else and say, we just need to clear what you need to clear. And they clear cut, because we didn't say identify the NRI. It was a whole pissing contest that we got into, not wanting to make them identify trees that are 6 inches or larger. So they went and they bulldozed everything, and they did it faster than we could do anything about it. Well, they reshaped the land in such a way that that didn't work with drainage. We found out that instead of 100 liters of calculation of water that was hitting it, it was really 150. And then the town did work with them to mitigate the problem that they created on water issues and everything. So they may have, I believe they have now solved that drainage problem. But that's the point that that lot is what was flooding the hell out of this property. Flooding Krista's property specifically, creating a lot of flooding down there. It's my belief, this is just my belief. And so that corner is a little bit of just extra fun, and that's why I think we're going to pull up on them. And I picked on Lance, before I was sat on this board, you may remember me picking on Lance saying, I don't think we know water so well. Oh, we trust water. And then we find out that we were 50% off on our calculation.
Well, so let me make that point then. There are rules in our town code and the state law that, you know, if members of the board want an NRI inventory and it's allowed by our code, insist on it.
You know, and that's what I-
Sometimes you can all say, no, obviously we don't need it in this particular situation for whatever reason. That's why we can't have computers do this job. We need individuals who can exercise judgment. But if you want, I mean, you can always insist on following our code.
Which
I'm just looking
brings
for
us
ways-
to me to the point of what you said about conditions, which I've learned the hard way is. The notes are great, but they don't prove anything. They won't, nobody can live by that. It has to be in the condition of what we want. If not, then we don't have much to stand.
And we can't blame code enforcement, because
No.
they can only enforce what we give them.
Exactly.
And so, and I feel bad for them because they never have enough, doesn't matter how many people they have, they're never gonna have enough resources, they do a hell of a job. But stormwater is one of the areas that I do think you might talk about a little bit. Just about the general topic.
I spent a career correcting professional engineers' work, their errors and omissions. That's what I did for Peru.
Okay,
So
that's
Not trying to.
a good point.
I do get afraid that sometimes we'll get into a mode of forgiveness for first emotion. Like I said, I vented. You can have the table back, the stump, whoever needs the stump. I'm sorry.
I think it's Amanda's turn.
No, good discussion.
No, we I'm talking about this and.
Yeah.
I mean, it's, you guys are
It occurs.
thoughtful about this, and that's why I'm proud to be affiliated with the sports, because you're all thoughtful about this stuff. You're wrong about the retroactive stuff, but you're thoughtful about it. The water stuff and the engineering stuff, you're not wrong, I think we gotta be very cautious about that. Can we do retroactive approvals? Yes. Do you have to like it? No. You know, they're legally allowed, that's the end result. We can just make it better.
I don't think there was really an argument on retroactive, whether or not we could. It was whether or not we would have approved it in the first place. That was my only question.
Yep.
And that's why I abstained instead of. saying
Making a
no,
stink.
Because I didn't have the information
Yeah.
to really factually give it.
Well, especially with retroactive approvals, when there's no time constraint, insist on it, if that makes you, you know. That was a light site plan, I think it was a light project. Compared to a lot of what you've seen. But that site plan didn't have a ton of detail.
Mention.
If you want more, you gotta ask for it.
That's what was difficult, so.
I couldn't
what
think
are
of-
we talking about? We're talking about an acre, was clear?
think
No,
less.
I don't know.
6.4.
It's about twice the depth of that lot that's like.
It's like 6'8".
So it's, what is that? That's.
6'8" to 7'8".
Under 6.
Oh,
It's not an acre.
So what is the dimension of that? That's maybe a quarter acre.
6.4 acre parcel.
Well, the total.
But they cleared 17,800.
Okay, so yeah, it's half, they cleared a half an acre. They cleared half an acre, that makes sense.
Cleaned it up.
Yeah.
No, we did the math,
It was
we
dead.
don't need to.
It was already dead.
Cleaned it up.
They cleaned it up.
There are tires back there, do you want tires?
Yeah.
There's
Do you want kids drowning in tires? Those tires will set fire, the fire gets in those tires.
Mosquitoes. Mosquitoes, yeah.
Are you from
area.
Cheesy fly.
From malaria?
I miss Halloween when they used to light tires. You know, this-
Aye.
Amanda.
Good discussion, all right.
Marty, come along.
Amanda.
I appreciate you all. I will make a motion.
Appreciate your motion.
Second.
All in favor? Aye.
All right,
Maybe Amanda, it is with great appreciation of you all